My name is Arunama Prakash, and I'm a second year PhD student.
My name is Jackson Jandrew. I'm a PhD student.
My name is Yingfei Chen. I work for Dr. Xinzhao Chu.
My name is Ian Garrity, and I'm a graduate research assistant. Our research project uses these sophisticated laser instruments called lidar to probe the upper reaches of the atmosphere. And a majority of our work has been involved with deploying and operating 2 of these instruments at McMurdo Station, Antarctica since 2010. Our lidars can measure the temperature and even the wind speed at altitudes between, say, 20 to 100 plus kilometers. So we're really looking at what we call this space-atmosphere interaction region, where the atmosphere is getting so sparse as you go up in altitude that you're really transitioning into space.
The best way to think about LiDAR is it's a remote sensing instrument, which means you can sense things at a distance, and it's very similar to radar, except it uses light. So you send signals outwards, you wait for them to interact with something in the atmosphere, and then you receive a signal that comes back to you. And depending on what you're looking for, you can get all sorts of different information from that signal.
My research project mainly focuses on the metal layers in the upper atmosphere. So basically, there is a permanent layer, we call it metal layer, in the upper atmosphere from around 80 kilometers to 100 kilometers. But in our own research, we want to study the layers which can reach up to above 100 kilometers, and they can reach very high altitudes. We call it TI metal layers, which is the thermosphere, ionosphere metal layers.
I am looking at what we call the Earth's highest clouds, called polar mesospheric clouds, which you can see from the space station, satellites, and even have ground-based observations, like people can see them if you are at those higher latitudes. So my research is basically on these clouds because they are formed in a very unique state.
When I'm down at McMurdo, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be the operator for our LiDAR observatory. So I'll be the one doing maintenance and running those LiDARs all the time. Anytime the skies are clear, we take data. When we're not taking data, if you wake up and the sky is not blue, then you drive up the hill and you fix whatever broke the day before. Because when you're working out in the field, that happens all the time.
Usually, if you think about the McMurdo or Antarctica, which means the extremely cold weathers, so you need to make yourself survive in such cold weathers. And at the same time, I think we need to drive there, and you need to get used to driving on ice.
I'm looking forward to the landscape because summer in Antarctica is supposed to be super beautiful. Get to see a lot of wildlife and penguins and seals, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then obviously the data collection.
I think my favorite part about working down there really was being involved in that really strong sense of community that develops between just those few select people that are down there, either doing or supporting these incredible science projects, and the camaraderie that comes with all of that.
So this is the Arrival Heights Laboratory Facility. This is a Antarctica Program New Zealand building that they've been nice enough to let us use. So let's see how we get into this ice box. First thing you gotta do is you always gotta clean your shoes, because this island's got volcanoes on it. It's about 7 p.m. so to get a very beautiful sunset right now. Huge door to keep the heat in. This is what we call the cold porch. So then we enter the actual lab. The hallway where we keep our parkas and hiking boots.
And then a couple of the labs here belong to the New Zealand researchers. And this right here is our laboratory. Warning lasers. So as you enter the lab, you see a couple of our lab mates are working there at the back. And this is our actual workspace. This is where we keep all of our LiDAR. So this is the view from the back of our lab. You can see my coworkers Arunima and Yingfei are hard at work on our pulsed alexandrite laser. They're replacing some of the flash lamps. I can show you what that looks like. We have 2 of these here. It's a sneak peek of what the inside of one looks like. When this thing's running, it'll put out about 2 watts of 374 nanometer light that we shoot up out a couple tubes out into the sky. And then we got this other system over here, which we're not working on at the moment, but we'll be working on it later in the evening. This is our so this one here is called our iron Boltzmann LiDAR. This one's here, it's called our sodium Doppler LiDAR. So in addition to all these actual lasers themselves, at the back of the room we have all the cooling and power supplies themselves that keep these systems running.